Let's get to the man himself, proud Bowie Bulldog and legendary Longhorn, member of the 2005 National Championship team, the still school record holder for
I can't even take Zay serious.
the one and only Michael Griffin.
I can't take Zay serious.
What you mean?
I'm just mad that you got your own jersey in the background. Is that your old Bowie jersey?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So coach let you take one?
Yeah, of course. I mean, why wouldn't he? I could just go in the back, grab it, stitch it up, put my name on it, and then put it up on my wall. For somebody that hated on my wall previously, that you remember when you were trying to dog me about not having shit up there, here we go. So in a way, this is your fault.
You know? What'd I do?
Because you told me it was too bland. It was too plain.
It was bland, but okay. You know what? I'm glad that you 20 years ago, national championship. You went back 20 years ago for your 20-year-old jerseys. I got you. I see. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, you do know if you want, you do know you could play NCAA and like redo your whole career, right? Like
I do, but I mean, someone could give me a signed autograph jersey that I could hang back there. I would love that.
I wasn't friends with you. I was friends with your brother. We used to pick on you. You remember that? Like, come on, Zay.
You're kind of a bully.
I was a bully. You know, in this day and age, that you can't use that term. Like, I was not a bully. I was not a bully.
Because you're not blood or anything. My brother, blood, that makes sense. You know, like I didn't really know you like that. Marcus was my guy. Marcus always showed me love. You, I don't know, man.
Marcus don't know you, bro. Stop that. Stop telling the stories, man. It's okay though.
Man, y'all love me.
But I do see your pops at the course though. So I gotta tell him we gotta play. He likes to go a little later. I gotta get back to the kids. He's enjoying that retired life. He ain't gotta get nowhere. So he's enjoying that.
As he should.
Yes, he should.
Worked a long time, man. He deserves it.
He does. He does.
I love it. Well, Griff, I mean, I don't want to cut in on this, but big commemoration ceremony this weekend. 20 years since the 2005 National Championship, and members of the team are going to be honored in the first quarter. Your thoughts on getting together with all the guys again 20 years after the fact, and how often do you all do stuff? I mean, is this like the first time that the team has been gathered back together?
You ask, honestly, I'm got hit in the head a lot, so it's gonna be kind of like trying to remember people. That's gonna be one thing, but at the same time, I mean, me, Brian Arakpo, Derek Johnson, Jamal Charles, just to name Quan Cotton, name a few guys, Vince, and we see each other all the time and stuff and still communicate at least on a daily / weekly or monthly basis. So, but I mean, getting to see some of the other guys is going to be great. Guys I haven't seen in a long period of time, but it's when you say 20 years, it's been a long time, and how can I forget every year that it comes around, it fell on my birthday. So every year when you say 20 years, I'm trying to figure out, okay, I know I'm 40 right now. So I think come January 4th will be exactly, it was the 2005 season, but the game was played in 2006 on the 4th. So, and I turned 21 that day. So I'll be 41 this year. So definitely it's coming up fast when you go to 20 years since the game, but it was 20 years since that season. So definitely a blessing to be able to accomplish something like that in my life. And it'd be great to just come out there and see a lot of guys and get to hang out and talk. And I know a lot of us have kids now, so we kind of transition from not only, us playing the game, but now a lot of our kids are playing the game also. So it'd be great just to get together and just get together.
Yeah. What do you remember most about that game?
My interception. What do you mean?
So I was hoping.
No, but I mean, outside of that, I mean, I know I didn't finish it, so I did get hurt in that game. So I do remember the injury that I had. Me and Terrell Brown colliding, but um, when you think about it, I mean, it was just a lot of great plays. The fumble recovery from Huff. Even if you think about it, I remember Aaron Ross fumbled early in the game, but made great plays in that game. But the fourth down stop was big, but just a lot of big plays. And then at the end, Vince Young, that last play, him winning and things in that nature. So there's a lot of big plays in that game, a lot of great players that played in the National Football League from that game, and then a lot of great people. So it's a lot to remember from that game.
Talk about the year prior when y'all are at the Rose Bowl. Y'all just beat Michigan. VY says we'll be back, and then gearing up for the following season, which we obviously know what happened there. But just talk about the mindset from everybody. Like, okay, this is it. Like, we feel it. We're ready. Nobody's getting our way.
I mean, for me personally, I was happy because I finally get to play. I got to start at safety. For the first 2 years, I was playing nickel, and the year we beat Michigan, that year, if you look at statistically wise, that might have been the year that I played the least amount on defense, just because at the time, rest in peace, Coach Robinson and Coach Tomey, they just didn't like using the nickel as much. So I really didn't get to play a lot that year. But that year going into my junior year is going to be the year that I actually got to start alongside Michael Huff, and you had Terrell Brown, Aaron Ross, Cedric Griffin. It was just the year after Derek Johnson just left, so we had a lot to prove to say, can we still be a top dominant defense that year? But at the same time, it was the time that Vince Young was under basically year 3 of him actually getting to play, and Jamal Charles just stepped on campus. He was a phenomenal football player. And then other guys like David Thomas, who was a great tight end and does not get the recognition that he deserves. But he was like a safety blanket when it came to that offense. But the offensive line was great with Lyle Sinline at center, Studdard, all those guys that were on that team. Jay Scott. It's just a lot of great players that was on that team. So, I mean, it was just an opportunity for us to, we had to get over that first hump, which was get over OU, which we finally was able to do that. And then from there, we had a slight scare, but we was able to continue to get through Texas A&M. We had to go there, play them at home. And then we got to the Big 12 championship. We won that fairly easily. And then we got to go back to LA and got to play USC. And so I think at the time, we won – I think we were like 18 something, like some crazy number. We won so many games straight. I think USC was at like 30 something games straight that they won. So somebody had to be beat that day, and it was just a great opportunity to get to play in that football game.
Are y'all doing? I know you're getting honored in the first quarter of the Vanderbilt game. We'll ask you about the current Longhorns here in a second, but are y'all doing anything like special? Y'all meeting for dinner somewhere?
There's supposed to be like a little I guess, what do you call it? A pre-tailgate. I mean, it's an early game, 11 o'clock game, so you got to get there kind of early. But if they're doing dinner, I don't know. Again, I got a senior in high school right now that's playing, so he has a game versus Aikens tomorrow. So I'll be watching him playing tomorrow night and then gearing up for that the next day. But and then because tomorrow's Halloween, so when you got young ones, you got to continue to be a parents first. But we'll see. I'm kind of anxious to see how things go or whatnot. But we'll see. It'll be my second game I went to this football season, so it should be a really good game versus Vanderbilt.
Yeah. How are the kids, by the way? B told me you got one on the soccer field that's been going crazy, and then obviously your son at Lake Travis. How's that been going?
Man, it's been going really good. My son's been doing really well. He's going through the whole recruiting process, so hopefully we narrow that thing down soon. My daughter, she's doing a phenomenal job. 2 kids on varsity in 1 year is kind of crazy. And then she was a freshman, he was a junior last year, and then she competed she threw shot put, broke the school record, missed state by 1 inch for Lake Travis, and then she went to the state championship in soccer for Lake Travis as a true freshman. So, and she started there, scored the game-winning goal to get them to get to state. So she's doing phenomenal. She's gonna be the one that I swear I'm gonna kill that one. That one there. No one warned. See, I didn't have no sisters, so since I had no sisters, I didn't know about the teenage girls. Like that's just teenage girls is just different. I know they say boys are hard, but teenage girls, that's just a whole different just animal, in my opinion.
That's your karma. That's what that is, because your
Nah,
ass was wilding back in the day. What you
I
mean?
was not wilding. This girl here is just sheesh. Everybody tells her how good she is, and I'm just like, I can't stand her. Y'all can take her.
Yeah. So the recruiting process with your son, how's that going? What schools he's looking at?
He's talking. University of Hawaii called the other day. We're supposed to go take a visit with Middle Tennessee State. He's still talking Missouri State, some other schools here and there. I mean, he's pretty much handling everything. I just kind of take him whatever. At the end of the day, it's his decision on what he wants to do. But again, it's just so much different from when we played. I mean, it's just different the way they do this recruiting process. Um, it's crazy. Like I feel like I don't know. That whole star ranking thing, whatever. I can't. It's weird to me to be like, what is the stars based off of? And it's like we base this off of what's their projection of making it to the NFL. And I'm like, y'all gave me a 4-star when I was coming out, and I went to Texas to play a position I never played. How did y'all predict that? But then there was other guys that I played with that were 5-stars and didn't even get on the field. So I just don't understand how this. I don't get it. I don't. But it's just so much different. I don't get it. It's different. And then at the same time, I feel like a lot of these guys are like they recruit. They're recruiting what they see. I don't even know if you can play football or not. I'm just looking at you as like. I mean, I look at it now. It's weird to say all that because you look at our secondary when we was there. My last game in Texas. I was 183 pounds, and I think Michael Huff was like 180 something. Cedric Griffin was 180. Terrell Nunn was like 170 something. And you put us on the field, couldn't nobody do nothing against us. Like our linebackers, Drew Kelson moved the linebacker. I think he was like 205, 210. Aaron Harris, National Championship. I think he was like 220. I mean, it was just so different than what it is today. And it's crazy to see like we was able to win with like really good football players. May not pass the measurable because I remember when I went to the combine, I was like, I am so undersized. Like, this is what y'all think safeties are supposed to look like. But to be able to go to the National Football League and play 10 years is just so much different. To be like, if you can play the game of football, you can play the game of football. And I think it's been proven over and over, despite size. Whether you look at Justin Hughes, who played for a long time from TCU as a defensive end, undersized defensive end. You look at a former teammate, Cortland Finnegan, who was like 5'10", 172, got to play 11, 12 years. The Honey Badger from LSU, 5'9" guy. Even if you look at Buda Baker right now, I mean, these are phenomenal players that won't pass the eyeball test, but are phenomenal players. And then you got guys that look like creative players and they just can't play the game. It's just, for some reason, just doesn't. I mean, the last 6'5", 6'6" receiver that was really phenomenal was like Calvin Johnson. We ain't seen it since. So it's just crazy to me just to see like, and then you got a guy like Xavier Worthy who people were questioning, oh, he's too little. So it's just crazy to see that type of like who can play and who can't play.
Yeah, it was funny. Dan Neal, we had him on recently, and he said, I need football players. He's like, Dan 6'2", played at 285. He's like, on the offensive line, I know they're recruiting these huge guys, but I need guys who want to get nasty and want to be.
The best defensive tackle for the last however many years just decided to walk away on his own is Aaron Donald, and he was phenomenal, undersized guy, strong but phenomenal. And you look at, it's just amazing. It's like, yeah, you just need football players, and I think that's the craziest thing is just the recruiting way of recruiting and looking at guys and how they play and realizing like, okay, they get and then at the same time, I think it comes back to developing players. I mean, you can get a 6'2", 6'3" corner. That's cool, but can you develop them? Can you teach them the right technique? Can you coach them up to be a really good football player? And I think that's hard to. I think that's another piece of it is just as you're recruiting, at the same time, do you have the guys on staff that can develop these guys to be that can use their tangibles and get them through it? So I think that's just the way this recruiting thing is just so different. I just remember like back in the day, we had a whole room full of a bunch of receivers and running backs and whatever. And Coach Akina made us all a heck of a secondary, and it was just impressive to see how he was able to do that. And then you look at a guy like Chris Overnight, who came in as a wide receiver that ended up playing receiver and then moved to running back and ended up having a good career. And just seeing those type of things that transformed over the course of time. Tony Hills was another guy that came in at tight end, ended up being a tackle. Um, you got to see a lot of that over, back in the day where you just recruited football players and like, we'll figure it out. Sergio Kendall, Lamar Houston, uh, Henry Melton. I mean, these guys were like, they were their whole football team. And then when they got to University of Texas, they managed to find ways to get them on the field and had them to have great success. So I think I think, in my opinion, that kind of gets away from what it used to be on recruiting football players and having guys that love the game, that are nasty, that's feisty, and just being great. And Michael Tapp, I think he's a great example of a guy that's a great football player. He ain't gonna pass the eyeball test, but he's a heck of a football player. And that's the reason why, he's up for the Thorpe Award right now. He did the great things he's done.
What are you expecting for the rest of the season with this Texas football team, Mike? Obviously, losing to Florida was tough loss, but they've won the last three. It seemed like after that OU game, they were going to pick up some steam and momentum, but then Kentucky, dogfight, overtime, Mississippi State, dogfight, overtime. You lose Arch Manning, who's in concussion protocol right now. What do you think about this team against Vanderbilt and the rest of the season?
It's hard to tell because I say this all the time, and I've been saying this for as long as I can remember, and we've been through this, people are questioning, I know I've seen articles, I've seen videos where Arch is saying that, nothing's getting to him and he doesn't hear the outside noise, but, social media and things is just too, I don't care what nobody says. Like, you hear the noise, and again, he's a human being. We're all humans. Things bother, just however the way that you respond to him, it makes you who you are as a person. I think he's unfortunately, I think he's just one of those guys that you were going to get criticism regardless of whatever you do in life, just because of who your uncles are and what they accomplished, who your grandfather is, and everything else. Do I still, in my opinion, sometimes I feel as I'm watching him, he's playing not to make a mistake. And I say that because I feel like he's maybe hearing the outside noise, so he's playing not to make a mistake. But at the end of the day, like Colin Simmons said, the team is a team. We got to have each other's back. I mean, you go back to, Vince Young and his freshman year in the defense and how it went hand in hand. And you go back to, you get to the national championship game. And literally, I remember Vince telling us, give me one more stop, give me one more chance. And, you give him another chance. And next thing you know, he makes magic happen. So it all goes hand in hand. You go back to last year, just in general, even with Texas, if you go back to the Ohio State team, that defense made some key plays right there at the end to allow that team to win. The offense wasn't playing the best football, but that defense for Ohio State made a lot of great plays and allowed them to win that ball game versus Texas. So it all goes hand in hand. All three phases of the game is going to need each other. And I think from this point on out, moving forward, especially playing in the SEC, you saw last week, South Carolina versus Alabama, literally it came down to players making big plays at the end. It goes hand in hand. You even go back to the Georgia game. I think they came very close in the game. But that's the game of football. And I think Texas is starting to realize, and there's a lot of young guys starting to realize how it's going to be playing in the SEC. It's really tough football each and every week. Somebody has to step up. And I think this week it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a dogfight that's just going to the University of Texas. That's what you're going to get is a dogfight. You're going to get everybody's best shot. But I would say this: Mississippi State won't play the same way that they played last week. I mean, you're going to get everybody's best shot. And I know people say we say that from Texas, but even when I was there, and I know it was 20 years ago when they talk about 20 reunion, we just get everybody's best shot, whether it was Baylor, whether it was Kansas, Kansas State. I mean, we got everybody's best shot. And for some reason, it's almost like the records does not matter. When Texas step on the field, you get everybody's best shot. And so I think they're going to have a dogfight, but at the same time, every man has to be ready to make a play when the opportunity comes their way. And it's only going to make them better as a team as the season continues to progress. But it's wide open, and I say that because there's still a lot of football here. You still got Georgia, you still got A&M, you still got Vanderbilt this week. It's still wide open. Anything can happen. And you saw like with Penn State, you get one injury and things can go downhill very quickly. So I think the backup has done a phenomenal job. Every opportunity he had to come in the game. If he has to play this week, I think he's prepared. He's ready. He's been all around. I think he plays with a lot of confidence, but I think he's mentally prepared to be ready to play. But I'm excited to see how they play. It's an early game. Vanderbilt just had a very big win for themselves, and I'm excited to see when they come into Texas. And Texas is, for some reason, they know how to go 5 and 6 quarters. So Vanderbilt better be ready because I think Texas is. They're just. It may not look pretty, but the W's is coming, and that's all that matters is the W's. Don't matter how you get them as long as you got it. So people say the same thing about our national title game,
Well, Mike, I want to ask you about that. The 2005 National Championship team, y'all are going to be honored in the first quarter on Saturday. Why was that team national champs?
Because, I guess I would say, I go back through that season. Just that team alone. I could tell you one big moment. I remember we played Oklahoma State one time. I think we were down like 28-7 or something, 35. It was something. We were down bad. And I just remember like Mac Brown walked in through the locker room. And I remember, excuse my language, and I ain't gonna say who said it. You know what? Fuck it, he said it. Vince said, "We know what the fuck we gotta do. We don't want to hear that shit." Mac turned around and went out the locker room. And next thing you know, we beat the dog shit out of Oklahoma State. But it was like, that was just it. Like, it was a selfless team. Nobody cared about who got. People asked, I just had this conversation with one of my teammates the other day, and he said, "Did it bother you that Michael Huff got the Thorpe Award, and then the following year, Ross got the Thorpe Award?" And I said, "Hell no." And he said, "But why not?" I said, "Because shit, if they coming to watch Huff, they gonna get to see me. And if they coming to watch Ross, they gonna get to see me. So why the fuck do I care? At the end of the day, we all gonna eat, So Vince doing what he was doing, that shit great. Hey, listen, there's 6 scouts up there. All right, I got a ball today. Like, that was just my mindset of that game, of just playing. It wasn't and I say this, if you worry about somebody else's blessing, you're gonna miss your own blessing. So, in my opinion, I think the reason why we were so great because we didn't. Dude, we had 3 fucking running backs. Think about it. Like, Jamal Charles comes in a rookie. He's getting the ball. It's supposed to be Selwyn Young's time because Cedric Benson just left. He's been waiting for his opportunity. But then we like, shit, what position does Ramon Taylor play? Fuck, I don't know. Just find a way to give him the goddamn ball. It didn't matter. Like, that was how he was playing. And then if you go back and really watch it, it was like, who ain't got a touchdown yet? All right, bet. Let's design a play to get him the ball. Like, that's what it was. It never really mattered. Like, who was what was, it never mattered. Like, it was just fun. So I say what the boys is doing right now, what Texas is doing right now, they have each other's back. I think Sark has developed a culture where everybody's selfless. You saw that last year with Jade Barron, all the guys that went on to play in the National Football League. And everybody was having fun. And I think that's what you see when you see this football team is win, lose, or draw, they're still sticking together. You don't see any off the field issues. That's something I applaud Sarkisian. Like it was in the past where I used to see all the off the field things going on. I know the NIL, you got guys making money and stuff, but we all be out. We don't see none of the craziness and stuff going on. Everybody's doing everything a smart way. Guys is Livingston stepped up. He's playing a phenomenal job, right? Doing a great job right now. But I think that's the biggest thing is just seeing a team that's sticking together, has each other's back. And I think that's the same thing that we had back in the day was just it was all about the team and the team only. And Vince goes down as, in my opinion, if not the best college football player ever, in my opinion. But you would never know because he always made sure all his guys was taken care of whenever he was around everybody. So, and he still does that today. So you can never badmouth anybody on that team because everybody was a close-knit team that all we cared about was winning. Not to mention that we used to lose football games. We had that Sunday dinner, and if we lost, we used to get like the old school like beef stew that was like in a can. It was terrible. But when we won, we had surf and turf, baby, steak, lobster, shrimp. We made sure to win. So Mac Brown used to tell us, "Y'all lose, you know what you're getting." We'd be starving because nobody wanted to eat that nasty cafeteria food. But when we won, it was awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, last one for me. What was the recruiting process like for you and Marcus?
You know what I tell people all the time? I was, this. I was committed to A&M because I felt like, and I tell my son that too. You got to find the place that you feel comfortable with and the guys that you really feel that you make a connection with. And Sean Slocum, who was the DB coach at the time with A&M, we just had a connection. I mean, this dude used to call me damn near every other day or whatever. And I remember when they fired R.C. Slocum, I was like, well, shit, I ain't going to A&M no more. And then got real close with Greg Davis or whatever. And, it was just different though. Because again, I was playing a position that I was getting recruited to do something else in college. I was playing running back at Bowie, and people are like, does he play defense? It's like, no, he don't. My brother was a starting quarterback and a starting safety. So I think what solidified everything was Mac Brown told my brother that, hey, I'll give you a preferred walk-on, and you're a hell of a player. We just don't have enough scholarships for you, but we're going to align everything. So he had the academic scholarships all aligned, made sure he was allowed to stay on campus with me, and then made sure he was treated like a scholarship player. Mac Brown honored everything he said he was going to do. And then he told Marcus that you have the same. He even had to get on my brother one time. He was like, listen, you are a preferred walk-on. You're not a walk-on. So act like it. Stop trying to, like ready to go. And so Marcus did it. You go back to the national championship game. When I went down, Marcus was the next man up. He was the starting dime. So my junior year, his redshirt sophomore year, coach gave him opportunity. And then my senior year, his junior year, he was granted a scholarship, got put on full scholarship, which Mac Brown, told you work your tail off, you get it. He got it. And from there, it was rest was history. So I just said the process is so different because they offering kids in 8th grade. I'm like, what the hell? I know y'all seen that. Y'all seen these 8th graders getting offered scholarships?
Yep.
8th grade get offered a scholarship, but then from my understanding, what they say is it's not committable. Back in the day, they offer you a scholarship, you can commit, but now they offer you a scholarship just to say we like you. But
It's
we
nuts.
We dating, but we dating a whole bunch of women. I mean, we just dating. I'm dating all these people. Just gotta see who works out. So it's so much different now.
Well, Michael, man, it's great. We need to do this more often. But hey, enjoy Saturday. Congratulations. 20 years. The Live the Dream DVD lives on. Appreciate the time, man, and enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Y'all take care. Hey, Zay, take that jersey down, bro.
Nah, man, staying up. Give me a new one.
Zay, you can't even fit that jersey right now.
That's okay though. Give me one 27 signed with the Rose Bowl logo and everything. I'll put it up there.
All right, I'm gonna make one for you. I'm gonna put your name on it too.
I'll take that.
All right. Okay.
Thanks, Griff.